Ready?
Hello and welcome to Rhythm and Pixels, the video game music podcast. This is episode 7.
I have a cat.
No, not 7. This is episode 6-9, and we're your hosts. I'm Rob Nichols.
And I have a cat.
Oh yeah, the cat came by. That's the Rhythm and Pixels cat.
Yep, the main cat. The other one likes to hide under the bed. Doesn't come out or do anything ever.
Can we call one 8-bit and one 16-bit?
I can work with that. I like that. I like that. And of course, Elvis is 32-bit because he's just the boss. So, I'm Purnell, by the way. I forgot. Hey,
how you doing?
I'm all right. It was rainy outside, a little dribbly, but surprisingly warm for winter. Still, don't jinx it. Before we go into the episode, how's your week been? I mean,
yeah, I was going to ask you. Like, have you been playing anything new?
Surprisingly enough, I think it's been less new and more retreads. I still been playing Let It Die off and on here and there. Mm-hmm. I am wrapping up my Pokemon sabbatical because I need to get back to my gym duties. But I went back to Link Between Worlds of all games recently. I was kind of surprised by, I don't know what it is. There's been a huge bit of Zelda hype because the Switch is coming soon with the Breath of the Wild game. And you were playing Axiom Verge, which made me want to mess with that again, too.
Yeah, so I've been playing Axiom Verge, which is great. I have a hard time getting back in. I have to convince myself to start playing it again, and then I start playing it, and I just get lost in it. It's so much exploration. I never really played a lot of Zelda, Metroid. I mean,
the way you describe this sounds like Metroid Extreme.
Yeah, this game is Metroid. But it's really, really fun. I'm playing a lot of arcade shmups, on an emulator. So I'm playing Dudonpachi Daijo Ao. I don't know, it's a hard one.
Yeah, that sounds like a random
I'm
title.
I'm playing cave shooters. I'm playing that one, and I'm playing ESP Rade, which is you're flying. Your character is in a ship. It's a little person, and he has or she has these crazy psychic powers to shoot bullets everywhere. And it's really bloody. For a shooter game, it's super bloody.
You know, as I started to get this weird idea, start to funnel game suggestions to the audience. Hey, if you're listening and you want to tweet a response, what the heck should we play? Because we're kind of at a loss here. We got options out the wazoo.
Well, I know this. Once I finish Axiom Verge, my next game will be Owlboy.
Oh, you're going to get that?
Yeah, that's my next thing. Because I know that's another reason I'm playing a lot of stuff on my my little Steam computer to play shooters on that one, is so that I can set up Owlboy for my next game. I'm still playing Street Fighter. But yeah, for recommendations, I have been listening to a lot of music. DJ Cutman has started a new label called Jozu, Jozu, and it is awesome. Purnell, you would love it.
I need to look into that, though. You got to admit, I think I mentioned this to you earlier today. My current musical structure right now is surprisingly going back to the old retrograde. There was a Facebook meme going around recently where people were like, your top 10 influential high school music albums.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't know an album from a coaster because I never keep track of albums. I'm just listening to the music. And second of all, I didn't have an identity, much less a taste in music in high school. I didn't develop musical interests until early college and the early 2000s. So I started getting back into that, and I was looking through the albums, okay, what were these influential tracks that I had? And I'm diving back into the pool again all of a sudden. All these bands I haven't listened to in a decade still sound good to me from genres that I've kind of abandoned, like Riot Girl and punk and twee, but there's still the shoegaze bopping around. I'm still getting that too. So it's there's Bikini Kill and Huggy Bear.
That stuff's awesome though.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
It's just you know how it goes. You go down a specific path of music, and then eventually you hit a point where you just gotta stop going backwards. But
yeah.
This made me go backwards, and I'm remembering, wow, these bands still rule.
Well, I gotta tell you, the music he's got on his new label, will take you back. It feels like 90s, almost happy hardcore, really fast.
Oh, happy hardcore.
Really hard trance, it's really fun. It's so cool. He did a mix for MagFest, and it's up on SoundCloud right now. I'll send it to you. It's really awesome.
Yeah, especially if there's happy hardcore on there. I used to love happy hardcore music back in the time.
Yeah. I mean, I love that stuff. All that old like 90s, like early 2000 rave music. It's fun. It's just fun stuff.
I just realized we've been gabbing like Dickens. We haven't even mentioned the topic yet.
The topic this week, courtesy of listener Ahmed Al Ghamdi. He was so kind. I think his brother told him about the show, and he sent us a few topics, and we want to just do them. And I'm sorry, Ahmed, that we didn't get to them right away. We had some things we wanted to do first.
Which is good, though,
Which was things like vacation.
Because and you saved us. You definitely saved us by having topics, because sometimes the Rhythm and Pixels think tank runs a little dry.
Sometimes it runs a little slow. The gears kind of moving. Anyway, thank you very much, Ahmed. We're going to do the first topic he suggested, which was real-time strategy games, which is something Pernell and I have very little experience with.
That is correct, which
Very
also is
little.
partly what makes this kind of hilarious, because one of the tracks I picked, well, I'll get into that later, but it took some work. It took some work to choose some tunes, but I believe that we chose some solid tunes for sure.
A lot of Western composers.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of the nature of the beast. And
is that real-time strategies, like it's more of like a Western thing?
I believe so. I mean, there have been some Japanese takes on it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was originally designed by Western studios, mostly on the PC to begin with.
Right.
And then just kind of expanded out from there. So it's definitely more so a Western product, to a Western contribution to the video gaming culture. No complaints there, mind you, though. So.
All right, well, this is an odd number episode, so you start us off. I'm really curious to what you've brought, because I know that we don't have any overlaps.
All right, well, in that case, I will start us off with if we're doing a real-time strategy episode, if I didn't pick this track, I'd hate myself for it, because that'd be absurd. So let's just kick this bad boy off right with the track, the Terran theme, the first Terran theme from the game Star Trek Rewind.
What?
I'm rambling. We're going to start this off with the very first Terran theme from the game StarCraft on the PC by the company Blizzard. Pretty much their bread and butter. So let's go with Terran theme 1 from StarCraft. Welcome back. You are listening to Terran Theme 1. At least we believe it to be, because it's credited as any of 1 through 3, depending on where you go to look for it.
No, I'm pretty sure it is Terran Theme 1. So there's like Terran Battle 1, or I don't know. It's for the Terrans.
It is composed by Glenn Stafford. Now, I've pretty much told Rob that as far as any dialogue I have, this episode is pretty much just reasons why Purnell does not actually play RTS games, starting with StarCraft. And
the one game people love, man. This is like the classic that everyone's like, oh, you want to play a classic RTS, a real-time strategy game? StarCraft.
To this day, people still play it obsessively. I'm almost amazed how the staying power that StarCraft has. And it is a good game. I'm not knocking it. Like, I mean, there was a point where I first learned about the game, and I was kind of engaged in looking at how it worked, how it played, and I have a buddy named Michael, and he was back in the day, he was really into this kind of stuff. And what happened was he wanted to help me learn how to play StarCraft. Like, okay, Purnell, this is a game you can handle. I'll walk you through some stuff. So he's like kind of talking to me through how to do X, Y, and Z, and I was suffering from decision paralysis as it went, because you're basically building up, you're mining for minerals, you're building, units and bases, all with the intent of conquering a planet, basically a map at a time, and beating 1 to 2 to I think sometimes maybe even 3 armies at once. So I'm learning how this game was like, okay, so I build this and I connect this and I can make this. And he's like, yeah, here it goes. And I had to leave to go on an errand of some sort. I go to the grocery store with my mom. I don't know what the heck it was. And I was like, okay, well, I got to end the game, man, because it's time to go. And he's like, okay, before you go, let me show you something. And like in an instant, this swarm of military units came from all sides of my base. What? And the time he spent telling me how the game worked, and me, going through the most, okay, I can build this up, and was picking it up and being all happy about it. He had surrounded my entire base with units. This is how he just mauled me.
Hey, this is how you play the game. And now you're dead.
Hey, that's right. Pretty much it, yeah.
And now you're completely surrounded and you can't do anything. But now you know how to play. You want to try it again?
No!
That was about 4 hours of my life. I don't think I want that back.
And in that 4 hours, I learned how awful I am at this. So that'll be a no. So
so the real-time strategy is like I'm familiar with like turn-based, where it's like you take your turn and you do things, they take their turn and they do things, and you're kind of strategically moving pieces around the board to fight or something. But real-time is real-time strategy, so everyone's moving their pieces all at the same time, and there's usually like so much resource management involved. Like you have to mine for this resource so that you could spend this resource to build more troops and to do this, to build more resources. And it just seems like such a hassle.
And then it adds more, because it's not just doing those things, but each of those things takes a specific amount of time to do.
Yes.
So if you don't build the right unit and power it up enough so that the building of the process takes X amount of times less time than before, you're wasting precious time minerals.
I totally recognize the skill involved in these games, and I recognize that the interest in them. I just have none of it. I have none of it. So I'm going to start with my first game. We're going back to the grandpappy of the real-time strategy games. This is Dune 2 for the PC. And we've actually played from this composer before. His name is Frank Klepacki. We played him on the board game episode because he composed for the Monopoly game.
Oh, wow.
The 2000 whatever Monopoly game that you enjoyed.
Was it by Westwood?
I don't know the producer or the developer.
But
it was whatever one that the one you chose that you liked a lot was actually Frank Klepacki.
Sweet.
And I remember back then I was like, what else did he do? And he did a bunch of Command and Conquer games. And so that's what we're going to play. The very first Command and Conquer, Dune 2 for the PC. Actually, this is the best part of the track right here.
Now, for me, the best part is always do. Like, gets you pumped. Gets you in it.
So I'm playing the credits. This is like post pumped. You've already been pumped and you're pumped out.
Your resources have been extracted.
Yeah, this is done. Resources are done. You've played all of Dune, which means like 4 years of your life are gone. No, I'm just kidding.
Many worms
I'm just playing with you guys. This is
No, he's not. Worms have consumed your entire family.
This is the credits theme to Dune 2 for the PC by Frank Klepacki. Enjoy. This is the credits theme to Dune 2 for the PC by Frank Klepacki. The spice must flow.
Do they actually say that at some point?
I mean, it's from like the original Dune.
That's what I've never seen. That's why I'm like, they actually say that?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is like, the spice must flow. Because the spice is like the only thing it's the only thing that will allow interstellar travel, and they mine it from the planet Dune.
So this sounds like a thing that I need to add to my things to watch list.
I think it should be added to your things to watch. It's long, and it's really strange.
I like strange.
And it's very 80s.
I'm
Pretty sure it's 80s, yeah.
Fortunately for me, I'm trained in the 80s arts, so I may be able to handle it.
I've been wanting to rewatch it again. And actually, Christy's never watched it, so we should watch it together. But I don't think this is I think this would be fun, maybe not entirely sober.
Well, basically, alcohol would need to be ingested for this.
It's a little wacky. It's not, well, it's just strange. It's a strange movie. But yeah, so Dune, I think it was Dune 1 was the first Command and Conquer game or precursor to Command and Conquer. As you're playing the different houses, fighting for Dune, and there's like sandworms that could come up and like kill your troops and stuff. I seen my brother play through it when I was younger, but that was about it. Like I've never had interest in these types of games, but I love the sound of this game.
Yeah, it definitely has a very classic-y sound to it. I like it.
It's like that kind of hard edge, kind of Western old school demo scene sound. I really like.
Oh, speaking of Doom, one thing worth mentioning that actually came up while I was talking with Matt earlier about this topic of the episode. Apparently, the actual term real-time strategy was coined because of this game.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this really is like the first.
Yeah, it's honestly very surprising to even hear, because it was pretty much coined with the intent of marketing this game. Like, it came out in 1982 initially, but it wasn't really used on a regular basis. And then I know bam, all of a sudden it's being used to market this genre of game.
The term real-time strategy wasn't being used, and all of a sudden it was like, hey, here you go.
Exactly. But then apparently in the 90s, a guy named Brett Sperry, he was a game designer, he pretty much coined it as a means to say, okay, time to push this product to the next level. These are real-time strategy games, not that time turn, not that normal turn-based.
Well, you think about playing board games, right? So you play like Axis and Allies or Risk. Everyone's going around the board, taking their turns, moving things, and making decisions. So I guess it was only the next logical step in like the computer game world to be like, let's all take our turns at the exact same time and see how that works out.
Honestly, this one changed the script entirely, because as you can tell, the idea of just having real-time strategy games brought in the element of time, which changed the way anyone can play, because now all of a sudden it's not a matter of just, well, I have all the time in the world to make a decision, or I can run out of clock.
Right, yeah, which I like to do. But no, like the skill isn't like managing. It's like your clicks and your key presses aren't moving precision, like trying to precisely move characters and objects on a screen. Now it's all about managing menus and selecting options. Like, I just don't know.
It's still something. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not immaculate at it. I'm far from good at it, but you gotta admit there's also something kind of awesome about that too, because like it's the idea of like, we kind of wrote keywords into a computer, like, okay, I type a sentence out. These are people where it's like they hotkey certain things to different keys,
totally.
and they can just kind of fly on like a sequence of like 10 to 20 instructions that just fly through their head. It's like,
right, and isn't this why like those mechanical keyboards are so like popular now? Because people play like with MOBAs, and MOBAs are essentially real-time strategy, right?
Pretty much. It's like a combination of like real-time strategy and tower defense.
Oh, that makes sense. Anyway, what's your next song?
Well, my next track, I'm going to go with, surprisingly, actually, no, I'll go with a follow-up to this one, because it just makes sense.
Cool.
Actually, you know what? I got an idea. I'm going to pass this to you, Rob. So, would you go with something more on a wackier side, or something more on a, not wacky, but more like awesome-sounding side?
You know, there's not a lot of wacky music in this real-time strategy game, so let's go with the wacky.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
in that
good.
case, then, both tracks are going to be from the game Command & Conquer 3, Red Alert. But the serious track was going to be Hell March 3 by the same person, actually, Frank Klepacki. But the wacky one, and the one that actually makes me smile, funny enough, is actually called Soviet March.
Soviet March?
Soviet March by James Harrigan.
Okay.
From the exact same game. So, if you're done tapping your foot, you just listen to Soviet March from Command & Conquer 3 Red Alert by James Hannigan.
Wow.
And
it's
so good, right? Like, AKA the reason why you'll never leave the menu in the game.
I think you just won the show.
Good.
You've won it. You won the game. It's all yours.
That means my victory method is I'm going to play this game at some point again because I put it down for a while because of my usual method of being really bad at RTS.
I guess we're a communist podcast now, right? Just.
Oh no! This is in the video game music verse. There are no loyalties, only musics, only good listens and fun times.
Hey, my only loyalty is to you.
And let's be real here. If you could have a mechanical war bear,
I can't believe you're leaving me hanging like that.
I'm sorry.
This would never happen in my home Soviet Russia.
Good. That's right, because they'd be punishable. Not here, though.
The people love you, and the government loves you. This song's amazing, man. I love once the singing started coming in, I just lost it. That's amazing.
Hey, you'll love this too. Get this.
What?
So, another story why I don't play RTS games. So, in college,
I like this episode about real-time strategy games. It's just you telling stories about why you don't play them.
I keep trying. It's not that I dislike the games. It's just I've had bad experiences with them. In college, a friend of mine named Michael, believe it or not, a completely different Michael.
Hey, you know a lot of Mikes.
I know a lot of Mikes. We were roommates in college, and he was obsessed with Warcraft and Command & Conquer, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I knew nothing about any of these games. So he was like, hey, I can show you how to play Command & Conquer. You can play on the LAN network with everybody. So we're playing the game together, and He's telling me how to do different things, this is what I'm really learning about resource management is in the game, blah, blah, blah. So, here's where it gets interesting. As I'm building my stuff up, I get to a point where I'm suddenly out of money, and I don't know why I'm out of money.
Okay.
He thinks it's a great teaching tool to go, oh, by the way, this is me showing you something. You can steal other players' money. I've been stealing your money this whole time.
What? So the first game, it's like, okay, now you know how to play, you're completely surrounded. And in this game, it's like, oh, now you know how to play, I've just been stealing your money.
Exactly. It's like, now I'm supposed to try to have fun. Can't do that. You're bankrupt because he wiped me out while telling me how to play the game.
Oh, my God.
It's like, why would you do that to a person who's trying to find enjoyment in a new genre of game?
That's ridiculous, man.
This was like the first or second Command. Actually, no, this is the first Command & Conquer. I didn't play Command & Conquer again until this game on the Xbox 360, and that was only because it was marketed so well that I was like, this is a good opportunity for me to return to this series.
I remember a lot of crazy marketing happening on TV for this game.
Yeah, like I swear I think it was Pamela Anderson who like was the character for the Americans. Like
yeah, like there was female like leads for each of the different like factions or something, and they were like promoting the show.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it was. And I was surprised, like, wow, they're putting a lot of cash into this product. Hopefully it's a good game.
People loved it, man. It's popular.
It's good. I'm just really bad at it.
And I really hate it. So my next game is for the PC. It's called. Look at you, man. I can't stand it. No. So my next game is it's called Rise of Nations for the PC, and the track is composed by Dwayne Decker, and this track is called Dark Forest, and I hope you enjoy it. This was the Dark Forest from the game Rise of Nations by Dwayne Decker for the PC. And I really like this kind of chilled out vibe with that like kind of acoustic guitar, but really synthy, like kind of slidey bass. So Rise of Nations came out. It was developed by Big Huge Games and then published by Microsoft in 2003. And the main game designer was actually the designer for Sid Meier's Civilization 2 and Civilization Alpha Centauri. So in this game, you take control of different like civilizations. So there's different themes for all of these different places, like all around the world, and that's really cool. So this one's just Dark Forest, so I'm not really sure. Maybe it's like a menu. I don't know.
I'm just enjoying the sound because I'm actually picturing like a wandering minstrel telling a tale to this. Like there
totally.
once was a man who swam in the sea and he drank all the water. People tried to pee and
Okay, so you're like, it's like a song.
yeah, like the guy walks, he plays the banjo or the guitar, and he's just telling a tale, a dramatic
See,
tale.
I'm imagining like it's nighttime in a clearing in the forest, and there's like a fire, and there's like an old guy like sitting on the edge of the fire, and there's 3 young adventurers, and they're tired from traveling through the forest, and they see this fire and this old man sitting there, and they go up to him and they sit down, and the old man offers them some tea, and he tells them about what he's experienced in the forest and what is to come.
And what he experienced in the forest is
And
a
then-
man swimming in the ocean.
And in this part, he talks about love
Love of swimming in the ocean?
and how he's been swimming in the ocean.
Yes! That's what he was doing. He swam in the ocean.
I love
People
it.
peed in, and it was really gross. It was not a pleasant journey.
My child, it was warm in this one spot, but no one knew why. And so I was cast out from the town.
Because I knew, but no one would believe me.
And this is Rise of Nations for the PC. No.
It's the best of games, actually.
I love it. All right, what's your next track?
This one is an interesting one, and just by coming across this track, I'm going to be inspired to go back to it off the shelf of shame, as I'm going to start calling it. But an rarely mentioned game in the real-time strategy genre. The game is called Grim Grimoire, and the track is called Practice Starts, with multiple composers, so I'll wait until it's done running before I read their names.
All right, you play this on the PC or is it somewhere else?
On the PS2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Hi there, listening to Practice Start from Grim Grimoire, dude. It's composed by 5 guys, 3 you may know. Hitoshi Sakimoto. To begin it all, Masaharu Iwata, he's kind of cool. Kimihiro Abe, he's a dude. Let me stop. Mitsuhiro Kaneda and Noriyuki Kamikura.
Yeah, we were just remarking that Hitoshi Sakimoto and Masaharu Iwata are Base Escape from the game
Grand Kingdom?
Grand Kingdom for the PS4.
Now, I have little to even impart about this game because it is one of the games I bought and it sits on the shelf of shame. But I will have to play it in the next week or so because now I want to. But what I do know about this game is that it is a rarity in the fact that it is a 2D real-time strategy game by Vanillaware, a very well-liked company that genuinely I don't think it's talked about enough in the U.S., but they're a great company.
What else have they done? Do you know?
Odin Sphere is the most known one.
So like really pretty 2D graphics.
Yeah, that's their namesake.
Yeah, I like that. Like the really high res stuff.
There was actually a game that came out for the PS4 in the last couple of months called Earth's Dawn that wasn't made by Vanillaware, but they tried to sort of ape their art style.
Okay.
But I don't think the game took off too well because the gameplay was shallow, but it still looked really good.
Yeah, I remember I really liked Odin Sphere. I was horrible at it, but I thought it was great.
Oh, it's a good game, and they re-released it on PS4, which is why I rebought it, because a lot of games I wouldn't have cared about a re-release, but one of the main issues with Odin Sphere, from which you may recall, was horrible slowdown, because the PS2 could not handle that animation.
Oh, yeah. The RAM was not, like, PlayStation did not have a whole lot of RAM as much as it did as the processing power for 3D graphics.
Yeah, but now that it's on the PS4, it runs smoothly, it is fantastic, and I can actually reattempt overly hard, difficult, why do you even bother mode.
Yeah, totally.
But
oh, wait, this track. This is a great track. I think this might be the winner.
Really?
I love
Over
that.
the Soviet March?
You know, okay, they're different. They win two different awards. But this is fantastic.
And the sad part is, I don't even think this is a map figure. I think this is like maybe the planning or
what's called practice start. So maybe it's like the opening tutorial thing.
It's possible. It's possible. I'll find out. But I am curious about it. But
it's got kind of a Disney quality to it right here.
Like what else?
The magical world of real-time strategy.
Yes, and I mean you do summon a lot of magical beasts. Like I know you can summon like an elven archer. You can summon unicorns. Deadly unicorns.
Pernell, you had me at unicorns.
As anyone should be had at unicorns. Let's be real here, man.
Absolutely.
But like, it's just I love the art style. I like the idea to try something new, and I wanted to support it when it came out. Just unfortunately, as I tend to do, I got sidetracked very quickly by seeing a shiny quarter bounce down the sidewalk, and I went after it. So, but maybe if I get some time with it, I'll bring it up. I'll mention it next week. It's like, you know, this is what the game was like. I think it's worth buying, you know, stuff like that. So,
all right. My next track is from a really one I've heard about this one. It's newer, and it sounded interesting in that it was so crazy complicated. It's called the Off-World Trading Company. Have you heard of this one?
No, but I like the idea of it already.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, and it's very, very, very detailed. And then again, you know, looking up some gameplay on YouTube, I'm like, nope. That's all right. But this is cool. This music is actually really interesting. It's composed by Christoph Tin, and this song is called Allegro for Hydroponic Systems.
Now, you just won the show for best title.
It's very descriptive. It's like... Anyway, it's very descriptive about the song and the game. So, Allegro for Hydroponic Systems by Christoph Tin for the game Off-World Trading Company. You've been listening to Allegro for Hydroponic Systems from the game Off-World Trading Company for the PC on Steam by Christoph Tin.
This makes me want to get quite hydroponic, I have to say.
It has the sound of doing science in space. And I like perfectly. And I don't know how that happened.
Well, it wanted to do a good job of welcoming you to the wondrous world of thermonuclear formulaic equations with pen and paper fun time.
So yeah, this game is all about. It's seriously like you're just trading. I think like you're like mining for resources, and you have to like build solar panels, and you have to dig and sell and buy and trade, and you have to manage your debt to earning ratio. It's crazy stuff.
So this sounds like it's more of it's less about strategy against other players. You're more like just battling the clock for profit.
Yeah, well, it's strategy, but not military, as far as I know. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is all just commerce.
Well, I like the sound of that too, because I mean, maybe there's like a certain time limit you want to get as much profit in your bank coffers as possible.
Yeah, it looked way complicated, like insanely complicated. So, but the whole soundtrack is a lot like this song, where it's very kind of classical inspired with a lot of strings and a lot of like fun little chimes and bells. But this one particularly really stood out to me. I just love the violins going on.
Honestly, I don't know what to say about it's one of those tracks where it kind of takes you into it.
Pulls you into like a whole like kind of story, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The twinkling and just like the grand styling. I don't want to say grand because it's not that grand, but there's bits of it.
I think it builds to something grand, especially at the very end. There's a little middle section here that's coming up that's very, very grand, I think.
Like I think a good description of like another comparison, but like certain movie trailers will work with this sort of thing. Like the kind of brings like get ready for the big show. It's like it's like all right, I can't wait for this movie to come out. Crazy stuff's going to happen at 1 minute into the trailer. But yeah, I like this track. Like it definitely hit me in I don't see this very often, but it hit me in the feels.
Yeah, you felt this track.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still going to take your earlier mentioning that I won the episode, but
yes, no, you did. But we can still enjoy this.
Exactly.
But you still hold the trophy.
Yes, the trophy that does not have a physical representation is in my hand right now, and I am holding it.
So for our listeners, go back to our Mega Man Battle episode, because I think you won that one too, right?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Because I hit you with a freaking out of left field selection.
Yeah, that was judged. That was actually judged.
Mm-hmm. We got to do another episode like that, actually. That was a fun concept.
All right, so I'm going to bring this track down because real-time strategy cannot escape. The bonus round.
It's time for bonus, the big bonus round.
Commander, this is the first step in our glorious conquest.
Bonus round is the part of the show where we play covers and remixes, and I want to say just other odds and ends that we find based on the theme for today. Because every once in a while we found just weird stuff that we just want to play on this part of the show.
That is true, and I think this very well may be considered an oddity. I apologize for any listeners who feel like this is not what they want to hear, but given the topic and the history behind this, I had to convince Rob to do it even.
Yeah, I was like, man, should we do a bonus round? I don't know. And you're like, you told me about it. So yeah, so let's to tell the audience,
basically
tell me, and then put your trophy on the table.
Oh no, I'm holding the trophy. My trophy is not on the line.
This is a title fight?
This is not a title fight. This is just a WTF fight.
Okay.
Just observational.
What you got?
Just to wrap up a quick lead into this, back in the day, and Rob for that matter too, was really into a game called Pump It Up. It's a Korean dance game that popped up in a local arcade of ours out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And obviously the recession quickly kicked in, and there was a specific game track called Another Truth.
Another Truth, yeah, that's right.
By a band called Novasonic, who at the time I thought was just an in-house band that did songs for the company and Demiro. Turns out I was incorrect. They were actually a Korean metal band that they contracted to do songs for them. So during my internet, Mountain Dew-induced haze of searching for all the tracks that this band put out, I came across a specific track, which makes sense because StarCraft was really popular in Korea. Yeah. So lo and behold, they did a metal song based on the Protoss theme from the game StarCraft called For a Dun. Hopefully you like it. We'll see.
Are you saying that because you're on the fence?
No, I think it's all right. It's a metal song, and I'm not sure how many of our listeners are big on metal. So
I think we got some metal fans.
All right. Well,
and I can be swayed.
All right. So in that case, let's just give this a solid attempt.
Let's rock out.
For a Dun by the band Novasonic. enjoyed that dash of cultural crossover. Korean metal on Rhythm and Pixels. What did you think of it, Rob?
I was pretty heavy, man. I enjoyed that. I liked all the singing.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. Like I've always found myself interested in foreign vocals. Once I learned, I think it stemmed from me liking metal. Once I liked general metal, I was able to listen to anything that sounded good, regardless if I understood what they were actually saying.
This felt more like had that industrial kind of like feel to it, all like the clanging and all of like the crazy sound effects. They're probably sound effects from the game, I would imagine.
Yeah, some of them were like you probably heard the woman go, "I need more resources." They're basically a lot of English.
That could have been anybody.
It could have been the lead singer's kid sister. I need resources for my school project. Go to the store and pick them up.
Everyone's growling in Korean, and this little girl comes up and she's like, "I need more resources."
okay, go to the store. But like, yeah, it's I like the band a lot. I still, even once in a while, I can still go back and listen to their stuff and enjoy it to this day. It usually comes up in weird spurts. Like again, I'll be playing Pump It Up, come across the song Slam, and go, you know what? I want to go see if I still have those songs on my recovery drive, and I do, and I jam for a bit, and I dance, and I'm good. But yeah, if you like this track, let us know, and by all means, we can talk. We can totally do a whole episode on like tracks that are not in English.
We could do like a metal episode. It'd be kind of cool.
We could.
If that could happen.
All right, I'm putting it down.
Sit right alongside the classical music episode.
There it is.
All right, for my next track, this is from the game Command and Conquer, and this is the cover. This is a cover of the song called "Fogger," like not Frogger, but Fogger.
Dodge those cars.
By the artist MastGRRR, a.k.a. Niklaus Yelm Smith. He is from Belgium. So check this out. This is his cover of Fogger. This is the cover of Fogger by the artist MastGRRR, a.k.a. Niklaus Jelm Smith from Belgium.
All right.
Yeah, it had a very like groovy kind of a old school synth sound to it, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like this track. It ran. It had moments where it's like it ran for a little bit longer than we thought. It was just as it was wearing out its welcome. It was like, change up. And it was like, oh, then it changed up. And it was like, went right back to it.
I was like, oh, yeah, I like that piano sound. All right. It's kind of digging that piano sound some more. And then it changed up right when I needed it to. But no, I hope you enjoyed that.
I liked it.
For more information about the artists covered on the bonus round part of the show, check out rhythmandpixels.com, and we'll have links to their Bandcamps, bios, SoundClouds, and everywhere else you can find their music. You've been listening to Rhythm and Pixels, episode 6-9, our focus on real-time strategy games.
We hope that we did your recommendation topic a good service. It was an interesting challenge for both of us, but at the same time, not only did it bring back some interesting memories and some great tunes, so March, but it also has me now wanting to go home and try booting up Grim Grimoire.
Yeah, so that's good. We got some good things out of that.
Yes, I would say so. So by all means, please, folks, please keep those suggestions coming because it keeps Rob and I from getting rusty. It allows us to dig deep into ourselves and find the music that allows us to persevere against all odds.
What odds would those be?
Well, all sorts of odds. Like 1, 3, 5, 7.
Come on, sevens.
19's a real
sevens.
jerk.
Oh, man.
But, for real.
But for realsies, if you got some questions for us, or if you want to send those suggestions our way, email is a fantastic place to do it.
rhythmandpixels@hotmail.com.
And for more information on the show and a full track listing, go to the website.
rhythmandpixels.com.
Check us out on Twitter at rhythm_n_pixels. Or check us out on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or anywhere else as Rhythm and Pixels, all one word. Someone had mentioned they enjoyed the bonus beats episode, so I think I'm going to do those maybe once a month or so. So not in replacement of an episode, unless it does happen again, but just as like kind of an expansion.
I can dig that.
Like a what they call that on the Saturn, like the expansion, like a rumble pack. We'll call it the rumble
Ram cart.
Ram cart. This is a rumble pack ram cart.
Just go with the N64 version. That was called the expansion pack.
Yeah, memory cards.
Expansion pack.
All right, sim cards. Expansion pack.
You're like doing everything but expansion pack here.
It's CD audio.
You're just getting in my head here. This isn't right. This isn't wholesome.
Bonus beats expansion pack. Bonus beats. Anyway, you've been listening to Rhythm and Pixels, video game music podcast. I'm Rob Nichols.
And I'm Pernell.
And we'll see you next week.
And remember, life is a thing where you always kind of want to have all of your ducks in a row. Life is a highway. I will ride it. I want to strategize it on. Nah, but I love that, man. But it's like we always feel as though we want to, have all of our ducks in a row and plan things out, strategize 10, 20, 30 moves in advance just to be prepared. Maybe not everybody. Maybe it's just me. I don't friggin' know. But as it needs to be done, sometimes what you want or what happens in life is not what is planned, is what is unexpected, and therefore can also be what is most awesome. You just have to be ready for the unexpected. Just because you didn't plan doesn't mean it can't be a great thing to encounter, embark upon. All the above. So have at it, whatever comes your way, because you can take it.